Hello students, so today we shall see the 9th journal program. Let us have a look at the problem definition. The problem definition is create a XHTML form with name, address line 1, address line 2 and email text fields. On submitting, store values in MySQL table, retrieve and display the data based on the name. So our task is here to create 4 text boxes, take input from the user, store it in the database, and also retrieve the data, that is search again based on the name. So now first let us see how the form is to be created. So now here you can see we have inside the body of the HTML we have taken the center tag so that the table is displayed at the center of our window, that is on the center of the browser. So this is table width specified and the border is given. Then we have created a row inside the table. So inside the row we are creating the form. So form action is equal to insert.php. So here once the form data is filled and the user clicks the submit button, so where should this form be taken to, where should the form data be taken to, that is specified here in the action. So it is going to insert.php, where that is on the insert.php page we will be executing the query of insertion. The method that we have taken here is post. We have two methods, get and post. So if you do not specify here as post, by default it will be taking it as get. Then I have created another row here. Then the heading that is going to be displayed there is enter the student information. Next, the alignment is specified for the table data, that it has to be displayed at center. Then name, address 1, address 2 and email. These are the 4 text boxes. Input type is equal to text and the name is given to them as name. I've made use of BR tag so that it displays each of the text boxes are displayed on separate lines. Then input type is equal to submit. This is a button. The button type here is of submit. The value given to it is submit and also the name is specified as submit. So when the user clicks, it indicates that it has to be inserted in the database. So we end our TD column here and we end the form and we also close this TR tag. Then this is for creation of the 4 text boxes. Then after this we have one more form in the same page, that is for performing the search operation. So now first let us see how this particular form looks. So we'll go to our WAMP server. I have already started the WAMP server. Let us go to localhost. This is program number 13. See, here you can see this is the heading. These are the 4 text boxes and this is our button submit. The next form that you see, that is enter the name to be searched. So we are going to search based on the name that is entered here. So that form is here. So this is the form. So here to perform the search operation, we have another page, search.php, in which the queries for the search operation are written. The method here is also post. So here again we have created a row and inside the row we have given the heading, enter the name to be searched. Then we have aligned everything inside this to be center, that is this name. So here we have input box and the name given here for this particular field is sname. The name given to this is sname and we have another button of type submit and the value written on this is search. We close the form here. We also close our TR tag and we close the body tag and the HTML tag. Now let us see the insert query. So this is our insert query. Now here the code that is written is entirely PHP script. So here we have a variable $link. You can call this also as a PHP handler. What is the meaning of this is, this particular variable or this handler is going to tell us if our database connection has been done properly or not. So here mysqli underscore connect is a function which takes 4 parameters. The first parameter is the name of a server. We know the name of a server is localhost. The second is the username, that is root. By default, all the WAM servers are given the username root and there is no password specified. The third parameter is the password. If you have given any password to your database or the server, you have to specify it here. The fourth parameter is our database name. So all these 4 parameters are compulsory and you have to specify it in double quotes separated by commas. So now let us try to create this database. So we have to go to WAM server, you go to php my admin. Now let us say new, we'll give the name as program 9 underscore db and we say create. So we can see here program 9 underscore db is created. We'll select this database because we have to create our table here. So let us give the table name as student underscore details, or we'll say student underscore table. Now the number of columns that we require are 4. One is to store the name, then address 1, address 2, and the email. We have to specify here the first field name, second I'll say address 1, address 2, this is the email. Name is of type varchar, you specify the length. Address also varchar, we will take again 20. So this is the data type that we are specifying and the length, the maximum length that can be stored. Then you say save. So now here you can see the table has been created. You can click on the structure. So you can see here, these are the field names. This is the data type. We do not have any primary key here. Then our next task, now let us understand this. So this is done, we have created the database. Now the next statement here is if not of $link. That is, suppose there is some error while connecting to the database, like you have specified wrong database name or you have given the wrong password or any of the 4 parameters, there is a spelling mistake. So that time this particular query is going to work. So this DIV function is going to kill a particular operation that we are performing, that is, and this particular mysqli connect error is going to tell us what error is there while performing the operation of connecting to the database. Then this is our next statement, that is if is a set of $_post of submit. Now is a set is a function which will check if a particular variable has been declared. That is, it checks if a particular variable, that the parameter that we are passing inside here of this function exists or not. So we have passed submit here. Now understand this $_post here is a type of associative array and we are passing the value submit. So from where is this value submit coming? This value submit is being fetched here from the form. So here you can see it is coming from this button. So make sure the name that you have specified here, the same name is also passed here in the query. Otherwise, it will not work. So here it is, this function is checking if this particular submit, that is if the data that is entered by the user, and after that when the user clicks the submit button, is that button existing, is that button declared. So if it is there, then it enters into the if loop. In this if condition, I have declared 4 variables. Why 4 variables? Because we have to store 4 values. Which 4 values? These 4 values. So I have declared again 4 variables: dollar underscore student name, dollar underscore student address, dollar student underscore address to, and dollar student underscore email. Now these variables, inside this I will be storing the values that I have fetched from the form. So we are fetching by dollar underscore post. So if you observe here, the method that we have specified is post. So you have to take here also dollar underscore post. Now since this is an associative array, you remember how we have understood it. You have to specify inside this with quotes, either single quotes or double quotes. Now inside this I have taken dollar underscore post of name. So what is happening is, the moment the user enters here some value, that value, there is a name associated with that value, and that name given here is name. This is stored, that particular value is stored in this variable, and we are fetching that variable here through this particular dollar underscore post. So this name has to be similar to your form names, the names that you have specified in the form. So similarly, I'm fetching the other 3 values also. So you have to make sure all these names are similar to the names that you have specified here in the form. So once all these values are fetched from the form, I'm storing that particular values in another variable called, which is dollar student underscore name, which has been specified at the left side. Now next is to perform the insert operation. So here you can see, again I have declared a variable dollar query. Inside this variable I am writing my actual query that is to be performed. This will, for the server, this particular thing is going to act like a string. So inside this you have to start with double quotes. Inside the double quotes you have to write insert into details. Now instead of details, the name that we have given here, that is the table name. Our table name is student underscore table. It has to be student underscore table. So this is the name of the table that is given in the database. So insert into student table. Now in student table, how many columns we have? We have 4 columns. So which are the 4 columns? Name, add1, add2, and email. So these parameters are nothing but the column names that you have specified inside your table. So you have to specify the column names separated by commas. Then after that you have the keyword values. So we are telling insert into student table in these particular columns, and the values that you have to enter, that is going to be specified here. Now these values are what? These are the values that we are fetching from this particular query. And from where are these particular values coming? These values are coming from this particular form. From this particular form. So inside what you write here inside is nothing but these variable names, because we have fetched and we have stored the values in these variables. So these names and these names will be same. Again, you have to specify it in double quotes, since these are variables and they are not column names or they are not any values related to database. You have to write it in quotes and separate them by commas. Close the bracket, close your double quotes, and close the semicolon. Now, one important thing here is you have to make sure that the number of columns that are there here and the number of variables that you pass here should be same. Otherwise, it is going to be a mismatch. Also, now the first value that I have said here, the first column name I have said here to be name. And here, if instead of writing dollar student underscore name, I write dollar student underscore add1. So address one will be stored in your name column in the database. So make sure that everything is matched properly. Then the next statement we have is MySQLi query. This is going to execute this particular string. So it takes two parameters. First is it has to understand for which particular database that query is written. Because if you have a look in your PHP My Admin, there are so many databases. So in which particular database do we have to execute this query? So in which particular database will you find this student table, that we have to tell. So this dollar link is storing all these details, that is which database, which server. So we pass this particular handler dollar link comma dollar query. What is this dollar query containing? It is containing our actual query statement, that is to perform the insertion. So this is a function MySQLi query which is going to help us to perform the insert operation. Then after this we have 4 echo statements. That is, I have written here the JavaScript. You already know what is an alert window, an alert prompt which displays a message on the screen for the user with a OK button. Then window.location is equal to this particular URL. Now let us try to insert. Let us say the first value that I enter here is Gururaj. The address that is given here is, say, camp, then you say welcome and give the email. Now there is no validation check happening here. So even if you insert any random values, it will still be stored in the database. Even if you leave a particular column blank, it is still going to insert into the database. So now we say submit. So this is that alert prompt that we are getting, which we have specified here. Alert added successfully. So this is the particular prompt. So when I click OK, again I am getting redirected to my form which was originally displayed. So that this, observe this address. This address is nothing but which is specified here in window.location. So it is telling that this particular script is telling that once you have submitted successfully, again the user should be redirected to this particular page. So that is why in window.location you have to specify this particular address. Then I am ending my script tag. Now please do not by heart this address. In the exam you will have to check what it is coming and then copy paste it there. Now let us see if the values are actually entered here. Yes, you can check here the values are entered. So let us insert 3 more values so that it becomes easy to perform the search operation. added successfully. Let me take a duplicate value again. So it will still be inserted since we do not have any validations. Let us take one more value. So we shall take last another value. So you can see here I have not given the actual email address, but still it is going to be submitted since there are no validations. Now let us check the database. Just refresh this. So we can see here it has been updated.